This week on Plebs of the Week, we've got insane takeouts as this guy goes flying into a barrier and flying cars. Well, they do exist in Gran Turismo 7. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Plebs of the Week. Now, if you do enjoy this, hit the like and subscribe button. We kick off, first of all, with some daily race seat at the Red Bull Ring. So, we're on board Merlin Racing here, who submitted this one, and gets good standing start there in an MR car, heading in towards turn number 1. And look at that rear quarter. They get absolutely planted from the rear end and get spun around. Now, we've had quite a few of these this week. In fact, we've had so many clips this week. We are going to be separating some parts of Plebs of the Week into other episodes, and I'll explain that in due course. This is what happened to Merlin Racing. Now, as we head towards turn number 1, did they hit the brakes? They did hit the brakes. They just hit the brakes a bit too late there. More of a mistake than anything. Not dirty driving, just really bad driving. And new for this episode, you get to see the DR rating that I found on their profile, which was DRB, so it's roughly a DRB rated lobby. So we've got this Viper in. So Nico was reported here by Sai down at the bottom. I'm not going to try and pronounce your whole name there, Sai. But you listen there, big crash into turn 2 at Red Bull Ring, kind of standard. Now, the Viper accidentally touches the grass there and sends the Italian off into the gravel. A mistake. Again, bad driving in my opinion, not purposeful punting from what I'm seeing here. We go into the left-hander then. They're side by side there up ahead. Side just gets pushed off there. They're now side by side. We get 4 wide, in fact, as we continue on here. And it's just a bit of contact there. They were turning right there, Nico. So, again, I wouldn't call that dirty. It's just very bad driving once again with people coming together. We'll have a look at what rating this lobby actually was shortly. We head towards turn number 1 and the AMG comes across Nico. Now, I'm not just defending Nico here. Nico was the one that was mainly reported for this one, but I can see what is happening here in my opinion. Nico goes for the move down the inside here. Just get it stopped at the apex. I always say if you can make it the apex, that's absolutely fine. The Swiss driver not happy with that, but if you leave the gap open, somebody will go for it. Swiss driver then goes for a bit of a push to pass there and sends them off. That's more dirty driving than bad driving, in my opinion. Do let me know your thoughts down below. They're up to 7 seconds of penalties, so not having the greatest race here. They continue racing, does Nico and the Swiss driver. The Swiss driver goes through on the inside. Nico still racing fine there as we continue on now. So I'm not seeing any purposeful punting here from Nico at the moment. Nico looks right, then goes left, continues on. Oh, now that is dirty driving. That's a revenge punt, that looks like to me, from the earlier incident. We jump back on board the Swiss driver, who's now looking to take revenge on the revenge of the revenge. And it all started with the Swiss driver taking that revenge on arguably what was a fair move. The gap was there and available. Some people don't like dive bombs, but they're a part of racing. So, you know, you can't just not have it in racing. You know, we are racing at the end of the day. So defend the line if they can make that corner. So going through there, so there's a little bit of contact there between Sai and Nico, but here, look, Nico is just braking as normal, so I don't think Nico was purposeful punting in this race at all, in my opinion. The Swiss driver here, more of a concern as we continue on through. And this is what I do, by the way. I go through the replay. Someone's reporting drivers saying, can you report them? I have a look, and I'm not going to report Nico for this, because I don't think Nico's at fault in this one. Continue on through that corner, and that one's a bit more dubious in my opinion. DRB in the end. So, you know, some of the mistakes Nico made there is what I expect from a DRB driver. Yes, they could have waited up in situations, but there's not a lot of purposeful putting there. It's more bad driving than anything. And I do look at that. We go into this one then. This is by Sniper Mike, who you check out on YouTube. We continue on up here. And they go to turn left, does this American, and they just punt the Mazda there towards the right side. That to me looked like netcode. Once again, a DRB rated lobby there as we continue on to the next one. So yeah, just a mistake there in my opinion. Right, we're on board Scott here, Alt Lamanzi, as we go into this left-hander in the Lamborghini. We go into this right-hander. Some action going on there. Now, the hazards are on there. That looks like a paused game to me by the American up ahead, Jack Kelly Lawyer. We head towards the sharp right-hander here at the Nürburgring. And they've gone very wide here, so fairly rightly here, the American goes for the move. But then it's looking to run them out wide and runs them off the circuit. So, you know, you reported this clip. I would say that is on you there. You shouldn't have ran them out. They do then retaliate there, which, again, I don't believe in retaliation. You know this. I've always said this. I don't like it. I can understand why people do it sometimes, but I still don't like to see it, because if you want me to report anybody and you've retaliated, arguably, I can just report yourself as well at the same time. Obviously, you're not asking to report here. You can see the retaliation there, but I would have given them more space, in my opinion, there, Altamans. But we continue on with the race. They shouldn't have done that. They got a 3-second penalty for it. Of course, we're going to head towards the chicane, where there's only one outcome ever when something like this is happening, and that's a purposeful punt. And then you kill somebody who's innocent in this whole thing, which is why I do not like revenge punts. Why did you do that? That's just stupid driving there by Jack Kelly Lawyer. Really was. You had your revenge. Okay, now you carry on with the race, but now you've got 5 seconds of penalties. Now, there was an incident earlier on in this race that I wanted to show you here that I spotted. So as we go through here, the Genesis tries to go on the inside where there wasn't really much going on there. And yeah, they do get spun around. DRB once again in terms of that lobby. There's a lot of DRB this week, and that tells me something, and I'll explain that a bit afterwards. Agent Ewan submitted this one then. So Shinra there was on the inside, and now the Mexican's just going to absolutely punt Shinra here off the circuit. Now, I've no idea why. This is the lap 1 second one, essentially, of the race. So a bit bizarre to me, in my opinion. So Shinra, obviously not happy, goes to send it on the Mexican, hits somebody else there as well. Again, revenge punting taking innocent people. Don't do revenge punting. It's just stupid. What you do, you're wrecking your own race there. 4 seconds. Wow, well done. Going here for the revenge punt. Completely misses it there. The Mexican saw it come in. So now you're off into the barrier again. I don't know what you're trying to achieve there. And you might have actually hit somebody else off there. I'm not too sure. We continue on here with an Argentinian driver then. So they go towards the left here. Agent Ewan did say they are from Australia and racing on the Americas servers. DRB lobby there. So that looked like netcode to me, especially with you saying that. So we're on board Monta here, going for the inside at the chicane. Never dive down the inside at the chicane. There's only one outcome there, slight bit of contact. First 971 does hit your rear quarter, but I would argue at that point that should be all said and done then. You know, there's an iffy move and then an iffy move back. Should be it in the grand scheme of it. So we come into this right-hander, and everyone gets his stop there. I'd say that's fair move there. The bump just knocks the French driver a little bit, so I think that's fine. No need for that retaliation there from Forrest at all, in my opinion. I think that was a fair move by Monta. Again, if you disagree, do let me know in the comments. I'm just reviewing this on the fly as we look at it right now. Some little bits of contact here and there. So, tiny contact on the rear quarter. Again, this is just bad driving at the moment, in my opinion. Oh, that's more... Ooh. That's more of a aggressive pass now, that one from Monta. Maybe getting a bit sick of being punted by Forrest. I'm not too sure. So we're heading towards the chicane after some very aggressive driving. So what's going to happen here? Forrest is going to send it. Again, I don't think that's necessary. I don't understand it. It's a fair move into turn 1, in my opinion. Now, this is on to lap number 6, and they've got 4 seconds of penalty now, Forrest, and Triple X here is going to tap the rear quarter. I don't think that was on purpose. I think that was just slightly coming across the line. So Forrest gets spun round, 4 seconds of penalties, so they're really going backwards at this moment in time. This is submitted by Mario Sonic, by the way. If you didn't know, Mario Sonic races in a lot of the races we end up in, so it's always good to race Mario Sonic. The Forrest comes back on, and look who's in front of him. Oh, look, it's the Italian again. So a never-ending situation here between these two. And what's going to happen here then? So Forrest is going to try and go for the move, fail a little bit, hit the barrier, and eventually going to come last. And that's an A+ lobby. I mean, I don't know what to say, really. It's just stupid. Stupid by that French driver, in my opinion. Now, Mr. Snails is, has submitted this one. On board Mr. Snail as well, as we head towards turn number 1. 3 wide here as we go into there. And a slight tag there with synchronous spins. I actually don't think that was on you. You know, when I looked at this, you're all braking in a straight line, pretty much. The corner's slightly there. Slight little tap. Close racing. I think that's more of a racing incident than on you, in my opinion. But this is awesome sportsmanship. Really well played to you. I don't think you had to do this. I think you lost a lot of positions there, and I think you were absolutely fine because there was still room on the left-hand side. All right, TTR Stiggy submitted this one. So as we head into this right-hander, what's going to happen here? Oh, they've just outbroke themselves there, has JM. But again, some great sportsmanship about to be shown here. Waits up. Yes, it's just ruined the race lead, but mistakes do happen. Clearly a mistake by JM. Waiting up for everybody to continue on. Well played. Really good sport. And had the penalty and still waited. Really good. DRA there. And yeah, showing that you are a very good driver there, JM. Because we all make mistakes, but you rectified that mistake. So on board Linksy here then, as we go in towards this right-hander. Apologies for the music. Remember, if you do submit a clip and it's got music on, most of the time I won't be able to use it. However, I managed to sort it out for this particular one. So you may have seen a Porsche going sideways on the previous corner. Well, look at this. We get full-on Airborne in the Supra of Linksy. And here is the incident in question. So it sends it into the Lamborghini and then just goes flying. Completely balmy. I don't know why you would do that. Yes, you may feel aggrieved from the previous corner. Didn't even get a penalty for that. I don't know how the game did not understand that wasn't a penalty. It's beyond me. Insane. Right, next up then, YouTube TK's here. So somebody gets fired off left there and boom, comes back on and takes them out. Now, this is actually some brutal karma. And it's reported as such as well. So we're on board the Genesis right here. So they get a tap off the Corvette, another tap off the Corvette. So they end up going left. And then, well, the story speaks for itself there. DR lobby of A. Could be a mistake, but it's still some brutal karma. Next up then, we're on board Nick here as we go through the right-hander in this Toyota Supra. It's I'm 14 Fight Me IRL. I mean, an interesting name there, mate. But we continue on through here. Who has submitted this? They are behind right now, and they are in this race. We head towards turn number 1. And looks like the Supra's going for it down the inside. Gets pushed from behind there. That was Bossman who pushed him. And, well, the 14 does go round. We jump on board the Portuguese driver here as we head up to the right-hander. What's going to happen into this one as we come into... Oh, good awareness there. Good awareness. In fact, it was Fight Me who's went through on the inside. Gets spun round there. Yeah, it should have given you more space there, in my opinion. A bit later on in the race. Can you guess what rating this lobby is, by the way? So that's sort of the game we should be playing right now. I forgot to mention that at the start. So Nacho slightly into the back of the Italian. Again, they're not trying to punt them there. It's just a small mistake. These things happen. The Italian waits up and then sends them off into the barrier. That's just stupid from the Italian. It says, I exposed you as the account name. I think we exposed you there. The RD there in terms of that lobby. So those mistakes are what I expect from a lobby. Oh, rear-ended there. So this is Fruitly. Absolutely sent to the realms. I wonder why. So we're going to look into this then. So they're in this fight, going into the right-hander. Slight tap between Magford and the Greed there. Nothing major. That all seems fair and fine as we continue on out of here. And we head down towards the right-hander. So we're on board the Porsche here, the Greek driver, who's just going to keep going flat out and sends them off. Now, believe it or not, that could actually break someone's wrist. You know, you hit them that hard. I remember George Boothby got hit from behind once, and that happened on a direct drive wheel. That's an A+ lobby as well, so not good to see at all here. So I had some of these clips sent to me where people just go flat out in towards turn 1 at Red Bull Ring on a grid start and wipe people out. So MKR DMD submitted this. This is slick. 5-second penalty there. And that's just not acceptable. So I would argue that is reportable. What continues to be reportable is, well, it's this. Continue to try and punt people. So I am going to be reporting this driver because there's no argument for this. This is just ridiculous driving. You're ruining everybody's experience. And I have no idea why, because you're not getting any benefit out of this. So you go and then punt somebody else off there. And once again, this can cause injuries to people. It really can. So I don't want to see it at all. DRB lobby, but yeah, I am reporting that driver. That's just not acceptable in the slightest. Right, we go on board Ridgebacks then. And this was submitted by Ridgebacks, actually. Oh my, what Airborne? I know we had a few Airborne. I can't remember which ones are the Airborne ones, but my word, that was another Airborne moment here in the Genesis. Not looking good, is it, this week with the grids? I don't think we'll have starting grids again with the way some people are behaving. But even so, this is lap number 1. What happened here then as we go into here? So, oh, they do hit the brake. Ah, that's just a mistake. That is a mistake. That's an unfortunate mistake. It's an absolutely brutal one as well. But the Italian clearly hit the brakes there, had nowhere to go. DRD. That makes perfect sense. So, yeah, that's not a reportable offence. That's just bad driving. It's just it's a mistake there. It's quite clearly a mistake. Right, we're on board H then, who submitted this one. Absolute carnage up ahead in towards his turn. That's his standard. Manages to gain, I don't know how many positions there, up into P4. Well played with that one. Unfortunately, 5-second penalty, and I'm still not sure what for. And you submitted this for a dodgy penalty? It really is. DRB lobby right there. So we're on board TCR Geordie Sting. Yes, TCR driver. Through the right we go then. They're going to go all the way off the circuit there and unfortunately spin the wheels, and they were in first. Unfortunately, they're going all the way to last. So, yeah, bottled the potential race victory there, did you, Geordie Stick. But thank you for the send in of the clip all the same. DRB lobby there as we jump to the next clip, which is, of course, Red Bull Ring. We've got so many Red Bull Ring clips this week. So we've got Dazman here as we continue on. So it looks like Jamal maybe didn't see you there. Allows you back on the circuit. That's fair. Sorry, it's not Daz that we're on, actually. We're on board Shadow Racer. It was Shadow Racer who they reported here. But Shadow Racer got punted off, and then they let him have space, which is fair enough. Slight tag into the right-hander. Just bad driving there, in my opinion, rather than dirty driving, as we continue on here. So that's not too bad at the moment. We head in towards the right-hander. Some racing going on here, and looking all fair as we continue on through. Slight tap on the rear quarter there from the GTR. Again, I'm not sure what level of rating this lobby is. Could be a mistake. I'd argue more of a mistake than anything. But they get back round there. Fast forward a little bit here as we continue on down. And, oh, hits them. So I think Ray Purchase was actually the submitter. Apologies. I write down the actual name. But yeah, there was only for that purposeful punt, was there? I mean, they weren't even involved in your incident. Right, so on board a Spanish driver here as we go through the right-hander and continue on. So this was another incident in that same race. Bit of a clash in there. What's going on here? And that's a purposeful punt. That is a purposeful punt, quite clearly. Albert Sim race, not good at all. Right, we're going aboard Go-Karts. Not had too many of these this week. MKR DMD submitted this one. So continue on through here. And, ooh, just a slight tap on drunk driver. I'm going to be a bit cautious with this one and say that was just a mistake. So they then turned right again. DRB lobby, potential mistake there with the go-karts. That is possible, especially with camera angles, etc. I'll call it a mistake for now. So we've got this one here. This is a big one. So this is another investigation clip that I'll show you. Okay, so Kenny hooks here, goes on the inside, and it was Kenny who submitted this as well of Legendary. Went on the inside Legendary, ran wide on the exit, but all the same, they continue racing here as normal. So absolutely fine so far. I know Kenny wasn't too happy with Legendary up ahead, and Legendary said about karma as well during this clip, so very confused. Anyway, we go through here. Kenny has to lift there, which is, again, very reasonable, good sportsmanship there. Realised they were going to have contact with the go-kart driver up ahead. So they're in the slipstream now, or ish, should I say. So we head down the back straight here at Tsukuba. You go towards the inside, tiny bit of a tap there. Again, nothing major. I don't think that was purposeful punting. I believe that was more defensive and trying to control the carts, in my view, as they go down the inside. Again, you can see that here. They're going for moves. They're not going for the punts. They're going for the moves. Some of them could be seen as aggressive, but I wouldn't call them insane. Like, that was arguably the most aggressive move there by Legendary, because they tapped the cart up ahead. I don't think that move on you in particular was even remotely purposeful, because they were trying to control the cart. As we go into this right-hander, there's ace money there. So yeah, I don't see any issues with that one at all, really. I just think it was racing and the go-karts being go-karts. I've got a YouTube clip here sent by HXR Philip, who you can check out on YouTube. Tap from behind there, sends them round, and unfortunately that's going to cost them some time. So a lap later then, we're on board Nishigan, who I think punted Geordie last week. Squid through here, they're just going to push them off. So, you know, it was all very well and good defending punting people, but you can see it just progresses. So that was a punt, in my opinion. You shouldn't have ran somebody off there like that. We continue on down the start-finish straight, and I'm not sure what's going on here with the slight turning right. It's like both of you want the slipstream, and then you punt somebody else. So not looking good here for the French driver at all. As we go into here, though, they tap somebody else. So you can see an innocent has been a victim there because you wanted to get revenge on Seawolf, who really didn't do anything wrong there, in my opinion. Actually ends up ahead of you there. We go aboard an Israeli driver here. Ninja Pixel submitted this one. Going into this left-hander. Oh, sorry, the chicane. Taps Ninja Pixel up ahead. So maybe a bit aggressive going for the overtake. A bit of bad driving, in my opinion. 5-second penalty. Seems fair, in my opinion, for that as well. As we go into this right-hander. And we'll have a guess at the DR level shortly. And make sure, you know, as you're doing this, have a guess at the DR lobby itself. Some of these I got bang on every time I checked them afterwards, because I checked the clip first before looking. Coming into here, though, they're going to go for a move. Ambitious but rubbish. I said it last week. That's another one of those clips there. Ambitious but rubbish. As we go into the left-hander. Again, they're not trying to be dirty here. It's quite clear that they're trying to race just in their own level. They're not going for the not braking situation. They're trying to get through the corners and just making those errors. Ferrari driver made an error there. Lamborghini gives them space on the inside. It's very obvious. Now, some people call this dirty driving. It's not. It's just bad driving. You know, making mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're going to continue on here then as we go into here. Again, look, they take avoiding action. I just want to repeat, avoiding action there. So it's just bad driving. Bad driving. They're giving room on the exit. That's fine in my opinion. As we've got a DRB, which I would argue that's probably what I expected there in that situation. Notice most of these are DRBs. So a lot of them, in my opinion, is actually bad driving. We head in towards the chicane here. They've hit the brakes a little bit too late. Bob's gone off there. It was Bob who submitted this part of TCR. Quite clearly a mistake there from the Dutch driver. I would wait afterwards, personally. They didn't do that wait in, but that did cost Bob a race victory. Bob submitted this one as well, so what's going to happen here? So going for the move down the inside. Bob's going to get taken out, unfortunately, again in this one. That was just a bad mistake again from the Italian driver. They went for a move, misjudged the move, and unfortunately Bob was a victim. Now we go on board Bob this time for this particular race. Coming into here, we got it slightly wrong, and look at that. Awesome sportsmanship. Well played, Bob. avoided everyone when you lost the car, and you actually didn't hit anybody off. Absolutely superb. Well played there. Real big shout out for you for that one. That's awesome sportsmanship. Probably the sportsmanship of the week. There's some good ones in this one as we continue into here. So, Lord of Egg gets spun round by the Italian we're on right now. So, that looked more of a mistake than anything. 5-second penalty, though, which is fair. And then they just go on a bit of a rampage here. So, they've slightly tapped Cuts here. Cuts is just trying to continue on. They lift off, and there's only one outcome here. They're going to send them off. Fortunately, missed Mr. Clumsy just there up ahead, who you can check out on YouTube. They get spun around themselves, so a bit of karma there for GT World out. And no idea why you would do that, to be honest with you, that punt. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, in my opinion. We'll continue on down here then. What are you doing now? As you come into here, you're hitting somebody else off. No, not good at all. Absolutely not good. Purposeful punts there from you. Just not acceptable in the slightest. Right, we've got St. Patty here who submitted this on behalf of the British driver right here then. So we continue on, and Janice there just pushes them off. No idea why. You know, they've only just caught up to the driver. I do check some of these on previous laps, by the way, if anyone's wondering. So we're going to come into here, and the Porsche driver's just going to really back out, and then they're going to do the one thing they can do there, which is try and push them off the circuit. The Brit survives, happy days, but unfortunately the Porsche does too, and sends them off. Just moronic driving there from that Porsche driver. Again, the Brit, I don't believe, from the quick checks I did, had any impact on their race previously. Now this one's an interesting one. So this is submitted by Raddy. In fact, we've got multiple reports for Racing Karma in this one. So going through turn one, I mean, there's a little bit of knot there, but then absolutely spins the Swiss driver, sorry, not Swiss, the Swedish driver for no apparent reason. That was a DRB lobby. We're then going to jump on board a YouTube clip. This is by Disturbed 540. As we go to here, another punt there. I mean, Racing Karma, this is not acceptable in the slightest. I don't even know why you're doing this. I can't check on this one because it's a YouTube clip rather than a replay submission, but on the replay one, I have no idea why. Up ahead, we've got Disturbed there, who was defending the line, and then Racing Karma's just going to keep punting him off. I have no idea why, but Racing Karma had some absolute cheek in the lobby afterwards to say don't block. There was no blocking there. If the gap doesn't exist, you can't just make it. So, yeah, very unacceptable. And in the same race, believe it or not, as Racing Karma doing all that stuff, we've got the Spanish driver who sent somebody very wide on that last corner. Continuing to go wide here, so we'll end up with penalties. And as we go through here, slight tap on Disturbed up ahead. But I mean, Disturb survives it. Well played to Disturb. Continues on. But you know what's going to happen here. The Alpha's going to go for the pit maneuver, thinking they're smart. They don't get it done, though. So they're pretty rubbish at trying to punt people, if I'm brutally honest with you, thankfully. They get Granty Boy, unfortunately. Sends Granty Boy well off. I don't even know why you would do this. I really don't even understand it, personally. I suspect they haven't changed their tyres either yet or been in the pits, but... Yeah, you know, this is the problem with some of this stuff, is that I look at it and I don't understand the mindset. You're ruining your own race, and for what reason? What reason? I mean, it's not fun, is it? Anyway, we've got Brazilians everywhere here. Everyone always tells me Brazilians are the worst, but I don't believe there's any particular nation worse than others. And we've got one into the other there, and Zanin goes for a spin. What I want to do is jump to Zika then, who's involved in this one as well. So they go down the inside here. They get it stopped as we continue on through here. And we head towards the final corner then. Going into here. Slight tap from behind. There's the Porsche going all sorts of sideways. We come back on. There's Wench, who did submit this clip. We're going to fast forward a little bit. And I have no idea why, because Wench didn't even cause any of this. The Brazilian wants to fire them off to the realms. And why? Absolutely why? I do not know. I do know. Some people are going to be typing comments now. Brazilians are the worst. But, yeah, I don't get it. But it continues, by the way. And this is what I was saying on this clip. Because Wench goes back across. And the Brazilian goes for it again. And I couldn't see why. I could not see why. DRB lobby, but yeah, not acceptable by Zika there at all. We'll go on board Ayrton here in this AMG, and they're going to do exactly what everybody else has done here. Just absolutely flat out into everybody and send everybody off. And this is the reason why we can't have good races sometimes. It's for people like this. You think it's very fun to just absolutely pile in, crash a load of people. I mean, you crash yourself here, so you ruin your own race as well as other people's. And then, yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So this one definitely needs reporting, in my opinion. So as we continue on into here, I think this is more of a mistake than anything. Tim just comes across a bit too much. So I'll just play devil's advocate there. That was just a mistake more than anything. I still don't accept the first turn because that's stupid. Going into this right-hander then, we've got Ayrton here. He gets a slight tap from the rear from Alvazita. And going into this right-hander, I'm not sure the AMG driver is happy with that. So we're on the start-finish straight. So we're going to head towards turn one. What's going to happen here? Well, there's only one outcome, isn't there? Yeah. Tries to go for the spin. And you're going to crash yourself out. Again, why? I don't understand it. Can somebody explain this to me? If you are one of these people, can you explain why you do this? Because I don't get it. Right, we're on board Rome here. This is submitted by Barney Gumble. And as we head into here, this is one where they get it wrong. So they hit the brakes early there. They realize they've missed the braking point completely. Lots happening in that situation. That didn't look like they were purposefully doing that. So benefit of the doubt there for Rome. And you can see they quit as well. So they were embarrassed by that situation. They instantly quit. So they weren't out to ruin people's races. Honest mistake there. So we're on board the Corvette here. And this is with Rome on the right hand side as well. So the Corvette sort of stuck in the middle. They couldn't really do anything about it. But look at this. 3-second penalty. You know, we've got cars being flung into the air, not getting penalties. And then we've got the situations like that where they can't do anything. And yeah, they die. Anyway, we're on board Barney here. So the Polish driver there just trying to catch a car. And Barney's just the victim, the innocent victim in all of that. Yeah, it's disappointing to see. And Barney get a 2-second penalty as well. What's that for? That's mental. I didn't even see that. B-rated lobby there. Right, we're on board Rory. Oh, my word. What's going to happen? Well, you got YouTube drama. Nah, Rory just outbreaks themselves a little bit here. Submitted by Mr. Clumsy up ahead, who gets sent round. But Rory's going to do the good thing here and wait on the left-hand side. Now, Rory is also going to get a penalty. I know Rory's A+, but Mr. Clumsy is A, so we go with A. But Rory goes round, takes penalty, and waits up there instead, which is actually a better place anyway. So fair play to Rory on that one. We've got on board, it's Mitch here. So we've got side-by-side action for this one. And looks all good to me. Good racing. I did follow this round and watched a couple laps of this as well. As we go into this left-hander, they are going to be side-by-side. It's Mitch trying round the outside. And going through here, the Renault just loses the rear end slightly. Sends It's Mitch off. That wasn't purposeful in the slightest. Just an honest mistake there from Noel. That's going to be it for this one, though, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you are worrying or wondering where your clip is, don't worry. If you have submitted a clip and it is valid, it'll be in another one. We've got a GTWS special coming up. So if you've got any more of those, make sure you submit them in the form below. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.